Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Build Show. I think you should probably know this part already because we don't give financial advice, but that's a good thing, I think. So we had a pretty bad week, right? And it wasn't that it was only bad, it was like the way it happened, Okay, R2, okay, I'll get started. Hey guys, my name is Potter. Welcome to the Build Show. So, if you're here on our small channel, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on. We had a pretty bad week when it comes to, DDD rolling out, what we thought people would be interested in, which is something that works. People don't want something that works, they want money. So in my algorithms of figuring things out, I didn't factor in sentiment. That was a big one because nowhere in any plain view could I see that sentiment needed to be reflected. People yell at each other, but apparently, guys, people did not like something. They didn't like us. They didn't like Ray. They didn't like Forex. They didn't like Drip Coach. Everybody likes Stunna. So we know it wasn't Stunna. So, So what we have now is a realization of how many people were basically in it for not just comfort, not for other people, but for themselves. And if you take a look at a person like James Peloton, he said that he was draining every chance that he got, This was early on. And I think a lot of us, we got caught up in the community aspect of it. And I think that is wise. Ultimately, we are all early to a dance. In the music, the DJ just showed up, maybe put on a cassette tape. He didn't even have his stuff set up yet, but we're definitely here early. As I talked about on last week's show, when we all, especially the 2021 folks, I think 2022 as well, we were looking at DRIP as a deflationary token, which meant there was 1 million locked, end of it, right? That's all you were going to have. But we learned, shame on us for just not knowing what to look at. But once it inflated, and I really feel that it got bad. The inflation happened around the garden, right? Because I would think that would cause you to print more tokens. I mean, it's going to buy them, keep putting them back in, and there's a lot there. But it didn't matter when deadlines were missed. The audience that was not really, or the community, which is not really software devs, but they are DeFi degens who constantly hear about people getting rugged or, this or that happening. We were just out here going, it's like that Spider-Man, that Spider-Man meme. We don't know. Was Forex the bad guy? Was Ray the bad guy? What's going on? What about the tokenomics? We were all learning this stuff together. And I mean, what Forex, in my opinion, he created is something that would work. And I believe that had DDD rolled out at the same time as DRIP, I think that $1 million asset pool would have been saved, and it should be deflationary, not inflationary. Hold on one sec, I got some messages. Hopefully nobody yelling at me. Oh, just good mornings. Hey, Gary. What's up, Moses? So it got me to thinking, though. I think I've always felt crazy or weird about Drip being on AVAX. I just gave it away. On being on Binance Smart Chain. And that is because in America, Binance is like a bad word. In New York, I don't even think they let you get to Binance. So AVAX seems like the right place. And I just have to believe, like we thought Splassive was going to be, the thing that could say, okay, great, this is just like Drip, except it's on Avalanche. And it was like literally a clone of it. However, it too was inflationary. And that inflationary component is something that right there you should have gone, oh, why did it go down? But again, ignorance is one thing, but not being able to, legitimize greed is hard. So like at an ATM, you go to an ATM, you can't take out $10,000 at an ATM, right? But if the rules were, you can, then it's okay. When it comes to Drip, the rules were do what you want, have a party, make it happen. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry. Okay. The rules were, hey, there are no rules. So what do you do? So I think that the community, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to recreate Drip, and they're going to recreate it with DDD in place. The only negative about anybody creating something that Forex Shark didn't do, you can't trust it. So the Drip can last. It's just going to be harder with people with max wallets because they're always going to be building. So if those people who now just said, I'm out, see any kind of pump at all, they're going to use their 50 wallets, to take out a nice chunk. Like some people can ride this thing all the way down because they have so many wallets, and they are saying, well, if other people did it, then I'm going to do it. So we're not printing right now, which is really good, but even those who are optimistic are finding that no one is playing DDD. So when Ray sent out that the big pool that let us go for a few days without with the vault, rolling over, I initially typed in Driptopian chat when he said I changed my mind. I was like, good, change your mind, because we need that over time, not just all at once. But then when he did it, I was like, whoa, double? No, this is going to be good. This is going to get the influencers to talk about it, and they're going to come up with games. But that didn't happen. It went way south. And that's why it's not bad actors. It's not good actors. I think we've all come to peace with that. It is also some of us who, not me, but some of us who have decided, I think I'm going to just cash out, right? And God bless you. Maybe a lot of us did pay more attention to Max Wallet versus looking at a factoring of, if this thing goes south, I should feel comfortable saying that I'm above, I've got a positive net flow, I forget what it's called, but I'm still going to take out. But we just believe, hey, you know what? Everybody else is doing it, so let's be a good citizen. If you take a look at the metrics, it just shows that this is normal, and we had a normal, little line going, and then no, it just all went away because it's a rebase token. West Side? What's up, West Side? Novell, I'm so glad you commented. For Drip is awesome. The tech and current updates for Drip is what? I don't know if I understand that, but I will tell you, Lavelle. It was Lavelle who turned me on to. Are we not liked? It was before DDD launched, and he said, guys, like, we just need to be nicer to people. I was like, screw those people. They're being jerks to us. But after DDD launch and seeing what people did, I was like, Lavelle's right. Are we bullies? Because if you take a look at Safu, they got a real good community, but they got, in my opinion, a horrible crook based on the information I've seen, a horrible crook who's just fleecing them for money. We had a great dev or a great architect dev, but those mistakes turned out to be a little bit more costly to sentiment than I could have ever calculated, right? I look at the numbers, I look at patterns, and the patterns just weren't there for what happened. Like, there's no behavior that you can look at that is similar to this, in my opinion. So I was starting to wonder, I was like, hey, should we go over to the Safu community and go, look, there's a lot of you, there's a lot of us. Come on over to Drip. Here's how it works. But I don't know, because of the max wallets that are out there already who are not willing to let Drip exist without them, I don't know if that would be a good investment for them. So I think that it's a lessons learned moment, because I still think Forex is the best DeFi guy out there. He's got the smarts. He thinks like the bad guys, right? Which is a cybersecurity person you kind of have to do. So I have to think like the bad guys too, but he didn't just think like the bad guys. He put it into his code. But he did have to work with a highly uninformed populace who just unfortunately saw that Drip price pump to $100, and the whole in between road just got obliterated by people who wanted that $10,000 a day. I did too, but I wanted the long-standing equity to be there more. So what do we do now? I wanted to explain. I explained yesterday about Fair Play, and it's a token that it was created on Ethereum. It was created by a guy who he would harsh on us as the Drip community pretty bad. His name was On-Chain, and now he's just Oliver. And he created a token that you buy it on Ethereum, but the dApp runs on AVAX, and he's doing cross-chain, much like Forex is talking about. Like literally everything he's talking about is what Forex is talking about, except he did it at a much smaller scale. So he was able to do a proof of concept, and he had patient people who he was like, hey, I'll cut you off. If you don't want to be in, get out, right? So he was able to test in a more controlled way, but he's using Chainlink. The dApp is live. They're making revenue. And so the reason I want to bring it up is not to promote his token, because I think it's going to be good, but it's Ethereum. And I haven't done the deep dive like I've done with Drip, but it does parlay into Drip, or not Drip, Animal Farm, because a lot of people are confused by, I don't understand what's going on with dogs. What is this? You create an NFT, and then you have balances that come in and out. You get a percentage that goes down. What does that mean? Well, I think it was because Destiny allowed me to see Fair Play. What they do is, because the game runs on AVAX, when they go to get a Chainlink number for the winner, they pay a fee. They also have to pay a gas fee. So what they do is, if you imagine the Drip, or I can't get off Drip. If you imagine the dog's NFT, imagine so you're saying, hey, I'm going to create a wallet, right? And so what they allow you to do from that wallet is then take the token and buy chips. And with the chips, you can place bets. They only have one game right now, but they're going to release more. And that's a very smart way. All of the things that he's talking about, including moving it across chain, he's like, hey, if we decide we're doing good, we'll just move it all to Ethereum. If we want to go to Polygon, we'll point it at Polygon. When Drip was constructed, all the options that you have to make a great dApp weren't there. And I think that, Forex cut his teeth on drip, but it's no secret that he always wants Animal Farm, Animal Farm, Animal Farm. And if you're a little fish, like a lot of us new Max Walleters are, it's going to be, you can grow with it, but you'll have to put a lot of faith in a lot of stuff. And unfortunately for me, I would have to add sentiment to the algorithm this time, because what are people feeling about his ability? He's got great marketing. The community is there. Like Matt hated community. Matt would be like, there ain't no community, right? But the eyeballs are there, I should say, versus community. So the eyeballs are there. I'm sure he'll sell something, but Animal Farm is complicated. It's not just for that average degener, right? Somebody who just wants to stake something and walk away and come back and maybe collect X amount of dollars. There's staking, there's V3. It's highly complicated, but I like that I went to another developer who I do respect. I know he's going to do the due diligence to do it right. And it turns out that this guy is using technology that Forex is talking about, right? So that kind of verifies that Forex is going in the right place, but I don't think that, let me think of a good example. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a celebrity who was like, no, after you found out about them, you wouldn't want to do anything with them again. But I just don't know how that sentiment is going to affect everything. So if nobody creates another drip, I'll work with whoever to create it. Because one, it's already been done before, but you have to put the rules in straight away. And so, I used to think that the rules were going to conform around the drip ecosystem, but and if I did it, we're talking 2025, right? I'm not talking about next year. It'd be a long time, and technology would evolve by then. But I just think it's stupid to let the drip technology, the suite of software that Forex created, go away. It can be used for donations. It can be used for GoFundMe. It can be used to set up a new business. I think the suite of software is sound. The thing is, now that we understand, is that you need investors who are saying, yes, I want to be in it for the long haul. And you have to show them that there's no way that the pool of tokens is going to grow. And I think what Forex wanted to do initially was have a lending protocol so people didn't have to cash out. That gets into a whole nother thing, but I think that there'll be enough technology where you can leverage, you don't have to build it yourself, you can just let drip talk to that. Now we do have AI drip coming up, and I don't know what he's going to do there, but I know he's going to introduce some level of NFT environment, which when you have an NFT, you have to think of NFTs like IAM, or identity and access management. They allow you to regulate things. And so by having that ability to say, you have not been a good actor, and therefore automated, not with any, conscious thought, you said this against somebody, but it says, it looks at the trends and says, no, according to this, you meet the profile of X, and there's enough AI to look at those behaviors in large language models, even using blockchain data currently from Drip. I could have AI take a look at the blockchain, and you can do it too. You could have it look at the blockchain and see where the breaking point is, see what bad behavior looks like, have that put in your learning large language model to observe behaviors that if it matches that pattern, you can do something like that. There's just all kinds of things, but good execution takes time. And I think even Forex was going, with DDD, guys, you don't want me to launch this right now. It's not ready. And people were like, no, including me. But it was more because, dude, I don't trust you right now. I don't trust anybody. How many times do I have to hear about something going to launch and then it not launch. I agree that it's better that it didn't. But I'm saying, so my agreement that, yeah, get out DDD, I would do it again the exact same way, because I never would have seen, well, not knowing what I know now, but if I still didn't know what I know now, other than I'm not patient with you and I don't trust you, yeah, I would have asked that it be taken out immediately, to let it be released immediately. Tom Hanks, I don't get it, West Side. So, it's not, I don't have anything that I can say, guys, continue to play DDD. I can tell you to continue to watch The Vault, because DDD was a utility put in to watch The Vault. If The Vault is depleted, then we'll start printing again, and it will be deflationary, and you won't get anything. Right. So, because the people with the max wallets, and I think Coach put out a video saying, I told you. By the way, Coach, that does not help. Somebody coming in, in Maui, right now and saying, I told you guys it was overpopulated. There's going to be time for that, but not now. So, yeah, I don't have anything positive to say about drip. I just don't think it's negative. I think that we have a 25 to 30 week view if it's going to do anything that's going to correct, because you have to look at the vault, because it is inflationary. I think that if you take a look at the Animal Farm, that looks like it might be good if there are games that are released that people want to play. Even Drip 21, I think one of the things that Drip is going to be great for is for, as a game developer, I've got free tokens, right? I got tokens that somebody can literally cash out, but should they just inflate to a point, I've got constant capital that I can use for in-game currency that somewhat translates to the real world, right? And I think that that's cool. But I wouldn't, if the tax vault depletes, I could no longer look at Drip as something that could hold anything. It would just be a money printer. So I do think if you take a look at gigs like Foodtopian, I think that they're taking it to a different level. I think that they'll pivot and change, the way that they're going to interact with the faucet. But I think that kind of technology, I said yesterday, Foodtopian has a really good dev. The guy's on it. Right. And so hopefully, we'll take a look at that. Also take a look at, I'll look a little bit deeper into brick by brick, and that's moving fiat into crypto. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Even Senna yesterday was like, well, it's been fun. But guys, there's a small chance, but it requires all hands on deck. Unfortunately, the hands on deck that are there now are like, I will take my 2 cents, please. Gary said, 817K in the tax vault currently, still wonderful. Need participation in DDD and res deposits. That is 100% fact, right? And the only thing, Gary, is I would say, factor in sentiment into your projection, right? Because DDD is a great game. DDD serves its function with utility. It has anti-whale devices in it. Drip, been here for 2.5 years. Everything that you're saying is 100% true. But that sentiment, if Elon Musk was associated with this, all of a sudden, people would not care about anything. They'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's such and such. But we don't have that kind of a buzz. We have, people that we've gotten in feuds with, infighting among the community, and, what a bloodbath over one of the most successful launches in DeFi. for something that finally got a rebase token. He resolved the rebase token problem, but he can't resolve greed. He can't resolve vengeance, and he can't resolve sentiment, right? So, but if you take a look at the software, if he signed a SOW, a statement of work, to write a program that had a utility that would facilitate drip price maintaining and support the ecosystem as a whole, he would get paid, because that's 100% what DDD did. It is spot on, exactly what it was supposed to be. Drip is different, but he did it the best way he could. So if you don't see people there participating, even if they're winning 1,000 drip, 2,000 drip, they're getting to a max wallet. It's still a depreciating max wallet. Lee is T-Man, the man, much respect. Yeah, he deserves it. I feel happy a little bit that I didn't necessarily try to say, all right, come to me and I'll tell you all about drip. I kept, saying, hey, this is what I see. And I've learned a lot, right? And anything that I do, I'll keep letting you guys know. I'm not stopping the show, but I'll focus more back on the dev stuff and what I want to build. And it will be for drip. So, because I still want to use the tokenomics, but I want to use the tokenomics understanding that the game can pivot to any blockchain. And to do that, it just takes time. And as Forex has said, I'm not giving dates anymore. Just say when it's going to be released and know it's going to be released. Just say it when the countdown is starting. That's all. No need to announce, hey, it's coming next week. I think the hype thing during a bear market is not, it's not reasonable to expect people will come in. Gary said, it's been a strange journey in crypto. Drip, how this is feeling based investing. Yep. Just don't do that. Use this beautiful tokenomic system through math without excess greed. We always had control. Correct. But you just, like Gary, if you look at especially the past few years, what has become abundantly clear is that people in power don't want to give up power. Right? And that goes for degen world. It goes for everything. So knowing that the bad guys in your Telegram group, hearing that, hey, I'm going to do an injection, which means that the price will go up. Knowing that somebody's announcing, hey, I'm going to put a lot of money into something, means the price will go up. Those are the sharks who are circling the swimmers who just came out for a swim with their family. You can't ignore them. So we know that we have at least a few hundred solid drip investors and a few thousand drip users, right? And a user is not a bad thing. They just take advantage of the price and cash out. Lavelle, I'll give you a sentiment example. One guy in the community invested 100K into drip, but got banned from the Telegram group because he had a simple question about self-referral. So he's upset now. Yeah. My mama, she was like, well, aren't you losing money? I was like, no, I have not ever lost money. Drip paid me back in 2022 because I didn't take anything from it in 2021. So I got what I put back at. A lot, like maybe 50, 60x, right? But I kept more in because I didn't drain. I wouldn't drain. I was like, no, this is the right thing to do for the community. I'll keep doing it. And that wasn't an idea that was good. because of where we are now. I felt that I couldn't come and do this vlog though, knowing that I was being a negative actor and coming and telling you guys to do the opposite. I just couldn't do that. So I had to have the blockchain have proof that, okay, not bleeding the system, positive in the drip, good job, and so that's where that stands. But you could even see that I think the BREEP price dropped because even people were like, I'm out. I'm not even going to deal with drip. I'm done. But the people who were just constantly feeding, they didn't care anymore. Their max wallets may have had referral, but not their subsequent max wallets. So guys, that's it. Sorry I couldn't give you a rah. If you just keep hydrating and keep your focus on it. I think that if you believe in drip long term, that's the best idea. It's just that as an inflationary token that can always print out more, it's like the US dollar. You can't ever get it. Once you get your mind around it, you say, okay, I control all the dollars. The Fed says, not anymore, right? So it'll constantly get bigger and bigger. DDD helped fill the tax vault. DDD is the IRS. It's putting it all, holding it. But once the IRS runs out of money or DDD, then what are you going to do? Print more money? Yes. Right. So we all got a good economics lesson. But I will be back next week and we'll talk about more in the dev world because I'm going to start on my idle game that I hope to run exclusively using the drip architecture. But again, we're not talking 2023. All right, guys, I think you're great. Congratulations on sticking with something. If Res 2 is released, wait, that's one of the reasons that you should stick around. I'm not getting rid of my drip bag. That's not going to happen. But Res 2, we hear about it being discussed. There is no timeline. There's other things that Forex said they was build into Animal Farm. I think that Forex is dedicated to Animal Farm, but for right now, since I'm not a financial analyst, I can't say this in any securities fashion, but for me, it's a sell, right? It's not a hodl. It's not accumulate. It's a sell. I would start again if I saw the tax vault, was going up and not being depleted. And I think after the tax vault is empty, then you take a look at, okay, what's the rate that it's printing at? Is it possible to recover from that? And then that might be, for me, a buy signal. Say, okay, get back in because Forex is talking about different things. But for right now, I can't with, good conscience say, if you've been this faithful this long, you've earned to take, some profit. So good luck with that. You don't have to be a bad actor to take your profit. All right, guys. Oops, there's more comments. Or did I just scroll up? Oh, there we go. Thanks, Gary. Circulating supply is only worth 700K. Those who profited greatly should do more right now. Yeah, you would think that. That's what you would think since we held up a lot of people that they would, but that's not what power does. That's not what money does. Money and power are selfish, and they're going to do what's best for them. And in this case, good job, you did it. All right, guys, don't be mad at anybody. Don't kick any dogs. Tell somebody you love them. And until next week, see you then. Game on.